You know who that is inside there? The Fonz. See what that thumbs up signal?
Yeah.
Hey. It's the Fonz.
Well, I haven't seen Henry Winkler on any TV specials or anything in the last couple of years, so probably looking for some work. Why not?
About the 8th time I saw the night shift on HBO, I think. The last time I saw it. Mark Merchant to start off the Omaha second. Merchant, Henry Mercedes, and Shane Halter. I think we actually aired that during our rain delay, too. Still my favorite Michael Keaton movie. 2-0 Oklahoma City. Merchant tried to check his swing and did. Fouled it upstairs.
I just can't get over the end of that the inning with Kiefer. I keep looking back at it after he struggled to start the inning and giving up 2 back-to-back base on balls, and then ending it with 2 strikeouts, as he did at the in the top of the first. Unbelievable.
2-1 to Mark Merchant, starting it off. He'll be followed by Henry Mercedes and Shane Halter. Mark's first appearance in the series was yesterday, and he was 0 for 4. 1 hit in the game so far, and that's the 2-run home run from Louis Ortiz. Foul and out of play. I think that's going to hit an empty seat. Just a wild guess.
Well, it appears that early here in the contest that Royals are the cuts that they've had against Smith have been good cuts. I mean, they really, Smith has given a few to that to hit here, and as you mentioned earlier, the ball's not carrying like it was last night.
Strike 3 call to Merchant. The one thing that Smith is doing, a pretty good job of changing speeds. Just a little bit off balance. Henry Mercedes comes to the plate. 2 hits in the series in 12 at-bats. Caught all of the games. Curve for a strike.
Oh, that's a beautiful pitch by Danny Smith to start out a Mercedes.
And there's strike 2. And now you can see he's starting to find a groove when he's ready to pitch that quickly. Batters will try to back out, slow a pitcher down a little bit if he's into a groove like that. And look at that, he's ready to go, has a sign already, and Henry says, whoa. Backs out.
Well, Mercedes going to try and break his rhythm, and you're right, that was a good point because Smith was set to go.
And strikes him out anyway. Well, wait a minute. Chris Jones is saying for a moment that it was foul tipped. Henry was ready to go to the dugout anyway, and Greg Biagini jumped out of the 89ers dugout, and suddenly, upon help from Rick Roeder at first, telling him no, it wasn't fouled. He just missed it. Shane Halter is the batter. Second consecutive strikeout for Smith. First one there is high. 2-0 Oklahoma City in the bottom of the second inning.
There's no doubt about it. Smith is settling in. He's got a good rhythm. He's taking no time on the mound here. Just as I say that, he throws 2 straight balls.
True, but he is working quicker. That's a sign of confidence, too. And he falls behind 3-0. Another thing that you can do to try to shake a pitcher up when he's working quickly and in a groove, you bunt on him a little bit. Try to make him field his position, too. And Shane now walks on 4 straight. Well, the pitching trends for both Kiefer and Smith have lasted about as long as trends do in California. He throws strikes, he strikes out 2, then he walks a guy on 4 straight. Here's Felix.
Well, if that's the case, he's going to walk Felix Martinez then.
Felix 2 for 9 in the series, taking extra long to look down to Mike Jerschley. How did the Royals do against lefties in the regular season? 24 wins, 12 losses. They like the lefties. And he starts off Felix with a curve for a strike. Felix with a wild swing.
Well, that's one that Felix should have been maybe bailing out. Instead, he took a swing at it and almost lost his balance in the process.
Felix was not trying to just make contact on that one. He wanted to tie it, and he's not the type of hitter to attempt that, and now he's caught looking. Dan Smith strikes out the side with a walk sandwiched in there. 2 innings in, 2-0 Oak City. Just one hit, and it was a blast. Louis Ortiz hit into the middle section of the bleachers down the left field line. Give the 89ers a 2-0 lead. Let's look at the 89ers bullpen. It's Alex Smith leaning up against the padding there in the foreground. And here is the aforementioned Louis Ortiz. Breaking pitch over, strike one from Kiefer.
Great pitch from Kiefer to get it started here in the third on it, Ortiz.
And he crushes another one. It's 3-0. Wow, that tells you how big that was, getting shave in the second inning.
Well, after he throws him a nice pitch, Kiefer kind of dipped low that time, right down into the wheelhouse. You see on the replay, and Ortiz waits on it and just crushes it.
Similar to the last one, this one not quite as far. Not one of those towering fly balls, just a rocket out of here. Got out of here in a hurry.
How about that to start a game?
Yeah, perhaps the decision might be to start walking Louis Ortiz. It's Ortiz 3, Omaha nothing.
Hey, Ortiz during the regular season had 14 homers. Here's another guy who can take it out. Eric Lee, 13 jacks in the regular season.
They had 14, but 7 of them were against Omaha. And now 2 in this series, plus he's got a triple too. 2-1 to Derek Lee. And it's Olson time again in the bullpen, you see in the background. Didn't get that one.
Certainly a cut as if he wanted to go yard on that one, though. He's got almost that Mo Vaughn type of stance at the feet spread wide.
Just about maybe 30 pounds less than Mo, but I see what you mean.
I didn't say resemblance as far as his stature, but certainly his stance.
Bounces off of the padding back out onto the field. 3-2 still to Derek Lee. 3-0 Oklahoma City. Went with the changeup and struck him out.
Now Kiefer's developed a strange pattern here. That's his 5th strikeout in 3 innings, the top of the 3rd here. He's also given up 2 home runs, both to Luis Ortiz.
Ball 1 to Rickert Fanida. Two balls, no strikes. Royals will have the top of the order coming up in the bottom of the 3rd. Three and 0. Caught the outside corner there. 3-1.
And Kiefer beginning to work faster. Both these guys, once they've got into a rhythm, and as you mentioned, once you got something going, you don't want to wait.
Shallow center field. Myers trots in, picks up a little more speed. Now a one-handed grab. Two down for Sagmon.
Well, Sagmon's got a little bit of revenge in mind here. Kiefer made it look easy last time up there, striking out Sagmon. So we'll see if Sagmon can battle back against him. The wind blowing, as I look to the flags, blowing out to the right field.
To right field. Low liner. Darren Burton handles it. Side retired. Another shot for Ortiz. We played 2.5. It's 3-0 Oklahoma City. Cameraman dancing. 3-0 Oklahoma City going to the bottom of the third. 2 Louis Ortiz home runs. Your moves aren't as good as hers. Well, now she quit.
Well, we'll see what happens when the Macarena is played. We'll see what kind of dancer he is. And you've got to know that it's going to be played at some point in this night. As strange a night as it's been, why not throw that in there?
Not sure whether I'm exhilarated or afraid to think that that might make an Exarban showing come October. Rod Myers walked in the first inning, takes ball one. Top of the order, Myers, Mota, and Steins. Ball two now.
You know what's scary? In 15 years, it'll come back around like the YMCA.
Yeah.
That seems to be the craze as well.
Ball three. He has problems throwing strikes to Myers.
Myers is so patient up there. Obviously, as a leadoff batter, you got to be. And
just trying to get aboard. He's taking it, and he's aboard with the walk. Well, Mo Sanford yesterday walked 3, had 2 wild pitches and hit a batter. Statistically, it doesn't sound that wild, but he was all around the place. And I still think that that might be happening tonight with Smith. 3 walks, a hit batter. Kind of too wild to hit. Ball one to Mota. 5 straight that Dan Smith has missed on.
Pappas will go out and talk to Danny Smith again. This time just to tell him, hey, we got a 3-run lead here. Not a long ways to go. Just relax. Certainly with Mota at the plate too, the veteran that smart hitter and a guy who's hit safely, and I think I read that 10 out of the last 11 games. So a guy that can get it done at the plate. Obviously showed that last night. He's going to be patient too in that 2 slot.
Smith is low. I don't know if I've ever seen pitchers in a groove and out of a groove as quickly as both of the starters have been, just with their control in the first 3 innings of this game. Estrada is playing in at third. He wants to try to take the bunt away from Mota. Taking, finally gets a strike.
I went back to check on that too, and Jose Mota, he's hit safely in 10 of his last 11 games. So he has been steady for the Royals.
Omaha without a hit, trailing 3-0. Toss over just to remind Myers that he knows he's there. And now they get activity in the Oklahoma City bullpen. Mota gets it out in front of the plate. Pappas will have a tough play and throws it away. And rolling on down to the Oklahoma City bullpen. Myers is being waved home. He will score with a slide. Mota ends up at second base. The Royals have done it again. Well, they will give Mota a bunt single, and on their first hit, they do score. Pappas was throwing off balance. And I'll tell you what happened. The ball had some backspin, and the combination of that and some wet turf caused some problems for him.
Well, Pappas went down to on all fours as he had to make the throw. I just was thinking in the back of my mind right before that happened, whether or not they would press to do something here. It's early in the ball game, even though they trail, but they needed to wake things up, do something. And of course, all it takes is one play, and it's a 3-1 ball game.
Steins lines it over towards second. Shave handles it. No further play, and that's the first out. And Jeff Grotwald is the batter.
First baseman, Jeff Grotwald.
Yeah, the wet conditions, as you look at that play again, or you think back on the Mota situation, not only did it cause problems for Pappas, but really where it caused problems is when it went down into the bullpen.
Curve, and Grotwald doesn't get it. Strike one. Same pitch, same result.
Danny Smith just threw it away from Grotwald that time, and Grotwald went chasing it.
Just got a piece of that one. Had to protect the plate.
Smith isn't going to throw him anything good. And the bullpen right now, Frank, for the 89ers busy. They've got both mounds going.
I think that's Steve Dreyer on the outside. We'll get a shot down there in a second. 0-2 to Jeff Grotwald. 3-1, Omaha trailing it. To the right side, that will advance Mota. Shaves throws in time, 2 down. Darren Burton flied to left field in the first inning. Comes to the plate. Now it's kind of hard to tell until they turn around. I think that's Dreyer on the left side of the screen.
You got the gray unis too. They almost kind of blend into the night a little bit here. Hazy night at Rosenblatt Stadium.
Burton takes strike one. Mota at third base with 2 outs, trying to get him home.
Didn't really say anything at the beginning of it, but Jesse and his crew, the grounds crew here, did a fabulous job of getting this place ready to go in such a short amount of time.
And suddenly Smith battles back to run the count to 0-2. Three to 1, Omaha trails. Way upstairs, 1-2. Mark Merchant to follow.
I think Smith is going to be happy if he can get out of this inning just giving up the 1 run as it stands right now. Unless Burton can do something at the plate for Omaha.
Went low and away. Burton wouldn't chase it. Mota at third, 2 down. 2-2 the count. Burton wears 22. There's the pitch. Shave is going to get them all. High throw. Ortiz stays with it, and the side is retired. Royals get kind of a gift run. It is unearned. 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left. Greg is tired of my company. Kevin McNabb comes along for more action in the 4th. We're through 3. It's 3-1, Oklahoma City.
And where the Oklahoma City 89ers lead it here in Game 4, 3-1 over the Omaha Royals. And now joining me in the Rosenblatt Stadium broadcasting booth is Kevin McNabb. Kevin, welcome over.
Thanks, Greg. And it looks like Louis Ortiz tonight trying to carry the 89ers to a win to put them in the championship series. Hopefully the Royals, for their sake, can bounce back.
Well, as we talked about it, Frank and I, when this broadcast started, the bats for Oklahoma City, they're a good offensive team. They didn't show it last night, so obviously hungry, and they come out and they get started early tonight.
Leading it off, Eric Pappas. He looked at a ball, and the next one sailing outside. Steve Olson continuing to warm up in the Omaha bullpen behind Mark Kiefer. He's given up the 2 home runs to Ortiz. 2-run shot in the first, a solo shot last inning. And he gets a strike called at the knees there.
Kiefer has started strange here. I mean, he's got a number of strikeouts, but he's obviously given up some base on balls. He has he's been effective at times, and at other times just not looked very good at all.
Behind in the count, 3-1 the pitch. Right down the middle, and the count full on Pappas, who walked his first time up. Nice off-speed pitch, struck him out. 6 strikeouts now for Mark Kiefer. 4 of them have gone down swinging and 2 looking tonight. Benji Gill, the shortstop, also walked his first time up.
Well, Benji Gill in the series, Kevin has struggled. 2 out of 10 coming into tonight's game. In this series, batting only .200.
Pops this one up, back on it, Moda. He's under it now, and that's out number 2. Of course, I just came over. Did Frank get a chance before he departed and headed for the radio side to drop in a few scores?
He did not. So you have the honors.
Well, we've got some updates, and again, the Indy-Buffalo game was rained out tonight, so Game 4 of that Eastern Division Championship Series will have to be played tomorrow at North America Park. Here's Osmani Estrada. Takes a strike. He fouled out to the catcher his first time up. Mercedes, on a bunt attempt, made the nice lunging catch behind the plate. And it's 0-2. Well, we might have to wait to drop in those scores in the bottom of the 4th, the way Mark Kiefer's mowing them down. Let's see what happens with the 0-2 pitch. Try and get him to go fishing for something. And he did. Swing and a miss, and that's the inning. 1-2-3 go the Niners. Head for the home half of the 4th. Oklahoma City 3, the Royals 1. Seattle at Cleveland was rained out tonight. Minnesota leads California 3-1. That's at the end of 4 innings at the Metrodome. Texas defeated Milwaukee 2-1. Oakland bombed Kansas City 13-6. 19 hits for the A's in that ball game. Leading it off for the Royals, Mark Merchant, and he looks at a strike. He was caught looking at a called 3rd strike to start off the 2nd inning. Baltimore blanks Detroit 6-0 with Mike Mussina getting his 19th win. He's now 19-9. Next one's low, 1-1. White Sox 4, the Red Sox 3, and that's a final with Alex Fernandez outdueling Roger Clemens. Toronto nipped the Yankees in New York 3-2. Merchant ahead in the count, 2-1 now. Another pitch in the dirt from Smith, who's walked 3 already in the game and hit a batter, and he's behind Merchant 3-1. Pittsburgh at Los Angeles, they are honoring the former Dodgers manager Tommy Lasorda. Dodgers hosting Pittsburgh tonight with Jason Schmidt going against Hideo Nomo. 3-1 pitch, and ball 4, walk number 4. Cincinnati beat San Francisco 7-5. Roger Salkeld, who had pitched earlier this season for Indianapolis, was just called up to the Reds, got the win. Atlanta beat the Mets 6-1. John Smoltz, his 21st win against just 7 defeats. The Phillies 4, the Cubs 2. Ricky Bottalico with his 30th save for the Phillies in that game. St. Louis over San Diego 8-3. Despite home run number 32 by Ken Caminiti of the Padres, as Mercedes looks at a strike. It was Montreal 2, Florida 1 from Miami. Gary Sheffield with his 40th home run for the Marlins to account for their only run. Mercedes has the count even, 1-1. And it was Houston over Colorado 5-4. Andres Galarraga with his 41st home run, but the Rockies lose by a run at the Astrodome. The 1-1 pitch low, and Mercedes ahead in the count, 2-1. So it was Mo Sanford for the 89ers, who was all over the place last night. Tonight, Danny Smith struggling with his control. The pitch. Just a little bit high for ball 3.
Well, it appeared there for a while that Danny had gotten into a groove back in the second. Lost it a little bit last inning, and now here to start the bottom of the fourth, he's gone off the rail again.
And the 3-1 about knee high. Mercedes just about ready to cross home plate. Chris Jones called it strike 2, and the count is full. We'll see if they are sending Mark Merchant as he looks across the diamond toward Mike Jerschley going through the signs.
And Kevin, again, they're busy in the Oklahoma City bullpen with 2 guys up throwing right now.
There's a fly ball, deep right field, and back to the wall, leaping, and it is gone. Henry Mercedes with a home run to tie it at 3 as Derek Lee went up against the padding and couldn't make the catch.
Well, I was about to say this is the part of the order. You get down there 7, 8, and 9, and if the Royals are going to come back and get this thing tied and force it tomorrow, they're going to need some help from the bottom of the order. And boy, did they get help there. Mercedes with the jack at an all-important time. We'll see it on the replay. Goes opposite field against Danny Smith. Launched this one. Actually, the right fielder, Lee, made an attempt at it here. You'll see him go up against the wall, but it was beyond his reach. So Mercedes ties it up at 3.
Had 8 home runs in the regular season. That's Henry's first in the playoffs. His second on the year against Oklahoma City. Henry with his 3rd hit of this playoff series, and he's driven in 4 RBIs. And a pitching change will be made as the former Creighton star, Danny Smith, is lifted. So we'll take a timeout here, the bottom of the 4th. It's now a 3-3 tie.
Has tied it up for the Omaha Royals here in Game 4, a must-win game for Omaha. And he has knocked Danny Smith out of the game, Kevin McNabb, on that 2-run shot.
Smith departs, and you see the numbers on Tim Mauser, good ones. Second time we have seen Mauser in this playoff series. Saw Mauser on Thursday night, Game 2 down in Oklahoma City, threw a scoreless inning in a 3-2 Oklahoma City win. Ball ripped to third, and a nice stop by Estrada to throw out Halter.
Now that's a great play by Estrada. Stayed down to the ball, was able to take the stab at it and then make a nice throw across the diamond.
So Halter robbed of a possible 5th hit in the playoff series for him, and a great play by Estrada. 1 down, and the Royals shortstop Felix Martinez comes to the plate.
Well, the last trip to the plate for Martinez was an ugly one. He struck out against Danny Smith that last time up there. He actually got called looking at the last strike. He's going to turn around and bat on the left side this time, the switch hitter.
Takes the breaking pitch over for a strike, 0-1. And the next one, a fastball. That's bounced wide of the bag at first. And Martinez again in the hole, 0-2. Final line on Danny Smith. He worked 3 innings, gave up 3 runs. 2 of them were earned on 2 hits, including the Mercedes home run. He walked 4. 2 of those that he walked wound up scoring. And he struck out 3 batters. Had 1 batter hit by a pitch. 1-2 now to Felix. The 1-2 pitch, off speed. Felix swung way out in front of it. Lucky to get a piece of it and stay alive.
Well, Martinez that time kind of lunging at it a little bit. Made the point though, about all he could do is just touch it with his bat after he'd committed.
Tim Mauser's next offering popped up, shallow center. Out is Gill, in the center fielder, and it's Gill though to make the catch in front of Fanida. And there are 2 outs for Roderick Myers.
The top of the order, the center fielder, Roderick Myers.
Well, Myers has done his job tonight as the leadoff hitter for the Royals. Both times he's been up, in the first and in the third. Got on a base on balls against Danny Smith. Now he's going to get a chance against Mauser. Obviously, the Royals like to see him hit.
He's walked 4 times in this series now, and he takes the first one low for ball 1. Fastball again a little low.
You can tell with guys once in a while just the way they walk to the plate and how they stand in there, and certainly Myers had just a great season. He really just shows he's got a lot of good anticipation at the plate and certainly a lot of confidence up there the way he swings at it.
Tim Mauser not prone to many walks, although in limited action, if you can interpret the numbers from 8 1/3 innings. He walked only 2 and he struck out 11. He had 8 regular season relief outings. Evens the count with that pitch. Nice location on the inside corner. Mauser in those 8 appearances, 1-1 and a 2.16 ERA for him. 2 outs, bases empty, and the 2-2 pitch inside. The count is full as Myers tries to get aboard for a 3rd time tonight with Jose Mota on deck. Tied at 3 thanks to the 2-run home run from Mercedes here in the bottom of the 4th. The 3-2 hit sharply in a big hop, but Gill handles it, and the Royals are retired. But they tie it on the home run by Mercedes. At the end of 4, it's all even, 3 apiece.
Back to Rosenblatt Stadium, tied at 3. Henry Mercedes got it tied at a 2-run shot, and that's the way the Royals are going to have to play. They are obviously, they need the win to force a game 5 tomorrow. If there will be a game 5, it'll be tomorrow afternoon. Kevin McNabb, I believe a 1:05 first pitch expected.
1:35.
1:35. Well, 1:05 seemed like a good time, but 1:35 then.
1:35 tomorrow if needed. Jose Albero gets the start. He won game 1 of the series. And manager Mike Jerschele not sure who he will be going with tomorrow for the Royals. So tune in and you'll know shortly after we do. For the 89ers leading it off, it's the top of the order. Brian Thomas, John Shave, Louis Ortiz. The first 3 due up against Mark Kiefer, who has retired the last 6 since allowing the second of 2 home runs by Louis Ortiz.
Thomas is due for the 89ers, just 1 ahead over the series. That leadoff role, playing the designated hitter tonight.
Both of these pitchers have struggled with their control. Kiefer, like Danny Smith, has walked 4. Bouncer on the right side, Grotwall with a nice backhanded stab, and he flips over to Keefe covering for the out.
You know, I kind of was making a maybe more almost like a broken record about the control problem myself, but you have to keep in mind the late start of the ball game as a pitcher, and there's
right.
such I guess a philosophical thing there and a mindset. Come out to the ballpark, you get warmed up, you're ready to go. And the lucky thing is we never got started. We never actually got the ball game, so they never actually were out here, but certainly just to think that they had to wait longer, and now as we get to about the 10:35 hour, it takes a little more out of them.
Well, Kiefer in a groove now. He's retired 7 straight. As Shave comes up, he's 0 for 2 with a fly to center and a strikeout. Breaking pitch there, caught the outside corner. Mark Kiefer over his last 3 starts, Greg, 2-0, a 3.57 ERA, and he'd not been walking many at all. Good off-speed pitch. That is a key to his success when he's mixing his speeds well, getting the batters off balance, as Shave was right there.
He's really looked good after he gave up that second home run to Ortiz. He has settled down into a groove, and maybe that's a good sign for the Omaha Royals, at least for now.
The 1-2 pitch. Little tapper to third, and that should be the second out, and it is. 8 straight set down by Kiefer, who in his last 3 starts had walked just 1 man in 22 2/3 innings and had struck out 14. Still got the strikeouts going tonight. He's fanned 7. And I guess he has to feel somewhat fortunate that of the 4 walks that he has allowed, only one of those, Brian Thomas in the first inning, has scored. Again, the outside edge, and he'll try and keep it on that outside corner to Ortiz, who pulled a 3-2 pitch for a 2-run homer to left in the first inning and did the same with an 0-1 pitch in the third inning.
Yeah, I'd be really surprised here after the 2 home runs if he even flirts with even coming inside at all, unless he loses a pitch.
The 1-1 delivery. He got him to chase that outside pitch, and it's popped up. Jose Mota back on it. And that's 9 in a row retired since Ortiz homered, leading off the third inning. Head for the bottom of the 5th at Rosenblatt, still tied 3-3.
Back at Rosenblatt Stadium on a Saturday night, Game 4 of the Western Division Finals between Oklahoma City and Omaha, and it appears that we'll have a new pitcher for the Oklahoma City 89ers. Tim Mauser was in the ballgame for Danny Smith in the last inning, but as we go to the bottom of the 5th here, we're going to get an official here in a moment. Maybe Kevin McDaff does have it. It's going to be Dreyer, we believe.
Steve Dreyer is in the game, Craig. 6'3" right-hander out of Ames, Iowa. Born there, still lives there. So the Cyclone takes the mound. So Tim Mauser worked 1 inning, and he retired all 3 batters that he faced, Halter, Martinez, and Myers. But he leaves after just 1 inning, and it's Dreyer who takes over.
I'm sure if he's a Cyclones fan, he doesn't want to know the news that I have for him. Cyclones tonight in football playing the Wyoming Cowboys, and I was talking to Mike Mashanek, the media relations director for the Royals, and he told me that Cyclones got nipped at home tonight by a field goal by the Cowboys.
Steve Dreyer 6-8 in the regular season with a 3.89 ERA. He had 14 starts, 15 relief outings. He saved a couple of games. Mota bangs one into left. There's a base hit. Over for it, Mark Sagmon gets it back in, and Jose with a leadoff single. He's 2 for 3 on the night.
That's a good piece of hitting by Jose Mota. Just you're going to see on the replay here, batting for the left side against Dreyer. Just goes with the pitch away, and Estrada, the third baseman, was playing almost in on the grass.
Third hit for the Royals, 2 of them belonging to Mota. And the other, of course, the home run by Mercedes. We could have a fog delay. Who's got a foghorn? Chris Stein's the batter, hit by a pitch in the first inning. He lined out to the second baseman Shave in the third. It wasn't a ground out, it was a line out. First pitch high and away for ball 1. It's a little smoky out here lately.
Now you can explain to me why they went with the fireworks there.
I can.
I
A
assume
1-0 pitch. Low and away, ball 2.
that was just a false steal, because just on a base hit, I was a little surprised when that went off. Looked out to left field, and all of a sudden I see fireworks.
Hey, we're in the 5th inning, and it's our 3rd hit. You got to use them sometime.
That's true.
Tied at 3, Jose Mota, the leadoff man on base. The 2-0 from Dreyer. Called a strike. Good running count here, and we'll see if Mike Jerschele turns Jose loose. He has not attempted a stolen base yet in the series. He was 7 for 13 in that category in the regular season.
Steins stepped out of it last night. He really snapped out of his slump here in the playoffs. Let's see if he keeps it going tonight.
Tried to go the opposite way, moving Mota to second. Instead, just fouls it off.
Well, Mota got things going for the Royals when they scored early in the game on his bunt. Now he's got a chance to do some things on the base pass here for the Omaha Royals.
Dreyer's delivery. It is bounced to the right side, but Shave with a nice throw to second. 1 and the relay to first in time for the double play. So Steiny was trying to bounce it over to second base to advance Moda, but instead he bounces into the 4-6-3 double play. First one turned by the 89ers tonight. And suddenly 2 outs, bases empty for Jeff Grotwald.
It's a nice battery up the middle for the 89ers with Shave at second and Gill, who's just a fine shortstop. They made a nice connection there. That wasn't an easy double play. The ball took a kind of a funny bounce on Shave, and then he had to throw it low to McGill. McGill was able to go down and get it and turn the double play.
Shave committed 23 errors in the regular season. Made that play with ease. Good off-speed pitch there. Grotwald swinging out in front of it. 1 ball, 1 strike on Jeff. He's flied to left and grounded to second. 0 for 2 in this game. Just 2 for 14 in the series. And that pitch, he was contemplating using his 4-iron or his 5-iron, and Chris Jones said you should have pulled out your driver. He called it a very charitable strike for Dreyer. The 1-2 pitch up high, and that evens it 2-2. Swing and a miss, and Grotwald down on strikes. The Royals in the 5th get a hit, but a double play, and nobody left on base. The end of 5, still tied. Omaha 3, Oklahoma City 3.
Tie game 3-3 as we go to the top of the 6th here at Rosenblatt Stadium in Game 4, the Western Division Championship between the 89ers and the Royals. And Kevin McNabb, we got a new pitcher on the mound for the Omaha Royals. It's going to be Steve Olson.
The right-hander 7-4 in the regular season with a 5.07 ERA. He had 20 relief appearances, started 4 games for the Royals, so he was that occasional starter that every club needs when injuries crop up. Olson in the playoffs, no record, a 0 ERA, worked 3 2/3 scoreless innings in his only appearance of the series. Gave up 2 hits, he walked 2 and struck out 2. Was not involved in the decision. That was game 2 on Thursday night at Oklahoma City, and the Royals wound up losing it 3-2. The starter Brian Bevel took the loss. Besides the 2 home runs that Mark Kiefer allowed to Louis Ortiz tonight, not a bad outing for him. Those were the only hits that he allowed to the 89ers as Derek Lee leads it off and takes low for ball 1 from Olson. Kiefer, 5 innings of work, 3 runs, all of them earned on the 2 home runs. He walked 4, struck out 7, had 1 wild pitch. Count even at a ball and a strike on Lee, who has walked and struck out. Olson's pitch banged on the left side, and it clanks off the glove of Felix Martinez into left field. Chris Steins to get it back in. An error charged to Felix. He committed 42 of them in the regular season, and he has one here in the playoffs.
I think Martinez thought he had a beat on the ball. I mean, he just kind of tried to backhand it. Moves over on the baseball, gets his glove down, and just not enough. He moves slowly over to the baseball. He had plenty of time to get there, but just couldn't do it. Skimmed off. I think it just barely touched maybe the bottom of his glove.
It's the 2nd error on Felix. He had 1 down in Oklahoma City earlier in the series. So Lee aboard representing the go-ahead run, and Rickard Fanida 0 for 2. Swings through the first pitch, strike 1.
Well, it was errors in game 2 that cost the Royals. Got them down 0-2 in this series, and certainly you'd hate to see something come down to errors tonight. That is the one thing you get into playoff baseball. Pitching and certainly defense can mean a lot. And last night it was a pretty clean game. Both teams played good defense.
Good breaking pitch from Olson to get ahead of Fanida, 0-2. Derek Lee, 6 out of 15 as a base stealer during the regular season, as this one's fouled at the plate and off the knee of Fanida.
Fanida actually kind of cuffed that ball. I mean, he kind of rounded it, foul tipped it, and came right back into it. Kind of hit him in the thigh, it looked like, or as you mentioned, the knee, right around the knee. Lower thigh area there, but he's okay.
moderate lead at first base for Lee. Not running with a pitch, and it's over. Strike 3 on Fanata. Second time he's been caught looking. He went down in a 2-2 pitch in the first inning. Olson strikes him out with an 0-2 off-speed pitch here in the 6th. One down for Mark Sagmon.
Sagmon, the last time up, Kevin hit a nice ball to right field. It was caught by the right fielder of the Royals, Burton, but Sagmon's hit some nice balls here at Rosenblatt Stadium. Only have gotten one to fall. That a double last night over Rhodes, or actually over Roderick Myers.
And he takes that fastball on the outside corner. In the regular season, Steve Olson really struggled against this Oklahoma City ball club. Had an ERA of over 10, 10.64 in 5 outings. And that ball whacked on into right center field. Chasing it is Burton. Heading for third, Lee. Darren's throw will be cut off by Felix at second base, making sure that Sagmon has to stay put at first. And runners are at the corners for the 89ers as they pick up their third hit of the night.
I think it was only a matter of time for Sagmon to connect. I mean, he's really been hitting the ball well, but right at people that time. He waits on it and takes it right into the gap. Burton, who's got a good arm, was going to have a chance on that play as Derek Lee had a good jump at first base, and now runners at the corners in Oklahoma City threatening here in the 6th inning.
In the regular season, they battered Olson for 19 hits in 11 innings. Hit 2 home runs off of Steve. Still, he had a 1-1 record against these guys. First and third for Pappas, who has walked and struck out. Royals try to turn the double play. The score tied at 3. And you have to wonder if Greg Biagini might send Sagmon here to try and stay out of that inning-ending double play. Next one misses outside for ball 2.
As soon as you said that, I looked at Sagmoni's lead. Didn't give much of a lead there at first base. Thought he might get a little bit bigger lead if he was going to take off towards second. See if something will be on here. 2-0, they might just wait.
Next pitch is down low in ball 3, and normally 2-0 not a good count to run on, because what it does, if the pitch isn't in the strike zone, it forces the batter to swing at it to protect the runner. And so instead of going 3-0, you can foul one off, and then it's 2-1. So normally 2-0 not a good running count. Managers, though, like to run when it's 2-1, but not on 2-0. The 3-0 to Pappas, out in front of the changeup. He had dreams of parking that in the same section of the left field bleachers that Ortiz has deposited a couple, but Olson pulled the string on it.
He was going to try and make something happen on his own there is what he was going to try and do.
This one squibbed foul, and the count now run full. Update a couple of scores from the big leagues tonight. Pittsburgh, Los Angeles scoreless. That's the end of 3 in Los Angeles. Jason Schmidt for the Pirates and Hideo Nomo for the Dodgers. And bottom of the 6th at Minnesota with the Twins leading California 4-3. Right here we're tied at 3. Runners at the corners, 1 out, top of the 6th. The game delayed by 2 hours 17 minutes at the start by rain. And there's ball 4 to load him up for Benji Gill.
Well, and Benji Gill coming to the plate here, he is due. Gill coming into the game only 2 out of 10, 200, batting 200 in the series. Gill, steady defensive player. Offensively, he hasn't done much for Oklahoma City, but here with bases loaded, he's got a chance to bust out of it himself at the 3-3 game.
The infield up the middle would, you would think, opt to turn 2, but a ball hit towards third, it could either be a double play or they might come home, try and go home first, and then possibly have Mercedes look down to first to complete a double play. First pitch taken outside by Gill.
Well, playoff baseball, Kevin, you want to get 1 run at a time if you can, and that's what Oklahoma City will try and do here.
Pops him up. Foul territory. Grotwald, who dropped a foul ball earlier, goes to the tarp and runs out of rooms. The wind, which is blowing from left to right, pushed that one out of his reach.
Well, on a normal night, if that wind wouldn't have been blowing, that thing would have stayed in the park. And Grotwald got over there, kind of got over there, and watched it, and then it just kept, the wind just carried it right out of there. That would have been a big play for Olson if Olson could have got his second out on a pop-up. Instead, Benji Gill's going to be right back up there and still with a chance at the 1-1 count.
'89ers had led 3-0 early. The Royals have tied it 3-3, but Oklahoma City looking to get back out in front. The pitch fouled back, and it's 1-2. The number 9 batter, Osmani Estrada, on deck. Halter now at third, you might have just seen in that shot, has backed up. The very first pitch he was in towards the bag and now has backed off a couple of steps. And anything hit to him, you'd think now he would take the route towards second, try and get the double play to end the inning. Olson getting the sign from Mercedes, and the pitch swung on and missed. And there are 2 outs in the inning.
Now that's a huge strikeout by Olson here. In the 6th inning with bases loaded, he gets Gill. That changes the whole complexion of the deal. It was this part of the order. I made a comment last inning, or at the, I guess it was in the 5th inning when Mercedes hit that home run. The 7, 8, and 9 batters, it seems like, need to produce, really need to come through in a tight ball game like this. So far, Omaha has done that. Here's a prime opportunity for the Oklahoma City 89ers to do it. They're bottom half of the order. They've come up empty, though, with Gill so far. We'll see if Estrada can do something.
2 outs, bases loaded for Estrada. He drives one to center field, but right to Roderick Myers. Backpedaling a couple of steps, has it for the 89ers. They come up empty. 1 hit, 1 error, 3 left on base. We head for the home half of the 6th. Still tied, 3-all.
You just tuned in and you see, wow, the middle of the 6th inning in Oklahoma City and Omaha are still playing. What a battle that must be. Well, we had a 2-hour and 17-minute rain delay before this one got underway, and we're locked in a 3-3 game as Kevin McNabb calls the ball game here in the bottom of the 6th. And Steve Olson right now, Kevin, got to feel really good as he went back into the dugout. He got out of a major jam there.
Good pitching by Steve after the leadoff man in the inning. Derek Lee reached in the error by Felix Martinez, but Olson able to work out of it, striking out 2 and getting Estrada to line out to center field and leave the bases loaded. Oklahoma City has stranded 6 in the ball game. And the Royals have left just 4 on base. They haven't picked up too many hits, only 3 of them on the night. We keep waiting for the Royals bats to rejuvenate, recharge, and do the kinds of things we saw the last few weeks of the season. They hit .322 in their last 15 regular season games. Darren Burton 0 for 2 in this one, and he looks at a strike. Burton, a prime example, the number 5 hitter in the lineup, and he's now 2 for 14 in this series. And Darren was hitting very well down the stretch in the regular season. Takes another strike, and he's behind 0-2 against Steve Dreyer.
Dreyer's come in and he's worked fast, and we've been talking about that, the rhythm in the so far in this game, and Dreyer's in that rhythm too. He wants to pitch right away as soon as he gets the ball.
Mark Merchant on deck, Henry Mercedes to follow. Burton bounces it over to Shave. That'll be an easy out. 1 down, and here's Merchant. A lot of ground balls and a couple of line drives handled tonight by John Shave at second base.
He's been busy over there.
He's responsible for all 3 of the outs in the 3rd inning on a line drive by Chris Steins, and retired Grotwald and Burton on a couple of grounders. And of course, Shave started that double play nicely last inning that Steins bounced into after Mota's leadoff single. The breaking pitch inside, ball 1 to Murch. And he takes that one inside. Merchant walked his last time. It preceded a home run by Henry Mercedes in the 4th that tied this game. at 3, and that's where we still stand. Of the 4 walks that the Royals received from Danny Smith, 2 of those runners scored. Big swing and a miss at the off-speed pitch.
And Merchant's still trying to do something here in this series. Played in his first game last night, game 3. 0 for 4 last night, and tonight he's 0 for 1. He has scored a run, though, as you mentioned, on the base on balls back in the 4th inning.
He's been in the lineup instead of Sal Fasano the last couple of games as he swings through that pitch. Merchant, another guy who was producing down the stretch. The regular season went 2 for 3, in fact, in his last game, to raise his average 10 points. Got it up to 280 on the last day of the season. Takes it on the outside corner. Good location from Dreyer to notch his second strikeout since coming on last inning for Mauser.
Well, Merchant could be upset about that. I mean, I don't know. He walked away in disgust, but those are the same spot that he went swinging at 2 pitches on. Dreyer went in the same spot, and that time he got caught looking.
Well, Louis Ortiz hit 2 home runs for the Niners earlier, back-to-back. Mercedes up there, and he had a home run his last time as he fouls the first one back to the screen. Took a home run cut at that one, didn't connect. 0-2.
Wind has shifted just maybe slightly, blowing obviously out to right, but maybe almost in a little bit. When he hit that home run, it was blowing directly out to right.
Both Ortiz and Mercedes from the Dominican Republic. Henry takes that pitch outside. He's prone to swinging at breaking balls, but that was a little too far away from him. And a little low with the fastball is Dreyer. 2-2 the count. 2 outs, nobody on base. Frank Atkinson will be back for innings 7 through 9. We're in the bottom of the 6th, still tied at 3. Henry got us there with his 2-run homer in the 4th that chased Danny Smith.
One thing about it, when you and I work together, things go pretty fast. Last night, it seems like you just got sat down, and next thing you know, you were back in the radio booth.
You can't waste any time, especially when you start 2 hours and 17 minutes late and you've got an afternoon game coming up the next day. I try and speed things up for us.
Appreciate that.
Again, the 2-2 from Dreyer, and he misses low and away. Full count to Mercedes. If he keeps the inning alive, Shane Halter would be next. The payoff pitch. Bouncer up the middle. Shave can't get to that one. It's into center field. And Mercedes picks up hit number 4 for the Royals. He's got 2 of them. Jose Mota with the other 2.
Well, Mercedes in the series now. He's got 4 hits. He's doing a nice job in the number 7 slot there. You see it just over the outstretched hand of Dreyer, and the second baseman, Shave, couldn't get there. Shave's made so many plays already in tonight's game, but that one just a little bit too far away. Mercedes is on with 2 outs.
You know, if Shave gets to that ball, I think his only chance was going to be to flip to Gill. Benji has such a strong arm that he possibly could have completed the throw to first in time to get Mercedes, who does not have great speed. Halter the batter now. He was robbed of a hit on a great diving stop by Estrada at third his last time up. Shane walked his first trip. Takes a pitch down low for ball 1.
Dreyer not going to think much about Mercedes here with 2 outs. Mercedes not known as a runner, so he's just going to go to work here on Halter.
Change up, bounce to third again. This time Estrada can't find the handle. And everybody's safe. See how they score that one. It was right down the line. It's going to be a tough play. So they might give Halter the base hit on the benefit of the doubt that he could have beaten it out even if Estrada comes up with it cleanly. And they're thinking it over as we have yet to receive a ruling.
We're going to see the replay. And as you see on the replay, Estrada got down on it, hit kind of the heel of his glove, and they are going to rule it in air. So Halter gets on in the air, and that's probably a pretty good call. I mean, especially after you see the replay.
So the errors even at 2 apiece in this ball game. Felix Martinez, the batter, looks at a strike. Mercedes now in scoring position, representing the go-ahead run in a 3-3 tie. Felix 0 for 2. He has struck out and popped up to short. The fastball is over, caught the inside part of the plate, although Martinez looked like he said something back to Chris Jones. Nothing in 2 to Felix. Dreyer delivers the off-speed pitch, bounce to Shave. He's got that one, and that'll do it for the Royals. 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left. Through 6, still tied at 3, and Frank Atkinson coming back to finish it off with Craig Shea after this timeout.
Back at Rosenblatt Stadium, tied 3-3 as we go to the top of the 7th. This in Game 4, and now back in the broadcast booth after he's been over on the radio side of things is the voice of the Omaha Royals, Frank Atkinson.
3-3 over on that side too, I noticed.
Same thing. Did you notice this though? When Kevin's working in here, boy, it's a slick 3 innings. So I expect that you come back over here, it'll be a slick last 3 innings.
One thing I have noticed, the wind that really was not a factor at the start of the game is blowing toward right field. And if there is a home run, it's likely to go in that direction. That's the direction that Henry hit the 2-run home run to tie things up 3-3. We're going to the 7th inning. Steve Olson had a shaky 6th inning at times. He was hurt by an error, gave up 1 hit, and was able to battle out of it, getting the last 2 batters in the order. And then you see the wind going toward right center is the top of the order for both teams in the 7th inning. Brian Thomas will start things off. Thomas is 0 for 2 in the game.
And you got to wonder about Thomas a little bit. He's only got one. He's got 1 hit in the series.
Shallow center field. Myers charging in. Felix gets out of the way. Myers makes the catch. 1 down. So both teams have also stranded 6. The 89ers leaving the bases full in the 6th inning. Found out that Wichita, the Royals AA team, was beaten again by Jackson today. The final on that one was 11-1. John Shave comes to the plate.
Let's see if John Shave can do something at the plate. He's done a great job defensively tonight for the Oklahoma City 89ers. Been busy on the defensive side. Now he's got a chance to do something for the 89ers on the offensive side.
Three in the 7th inning. Strike 2 taken. In the dirt. 2-2. Louis Ortiz to follow. Not enough depth to that one. Burton to the line to make the catch. Here's Louis Ortiz.
Well, Louis Ortiz, 2 home runs tonight. Home run in the 1st, home run in the 3rd.
89ers have 1 hit other than Ortiz 2 home runs.
And this is the part of the order there. Ortiz, Lee, Fanata, and Sagmode. Pretty good hitting battery right here.
Yesterday, Ortiz, Lee, and Fanita combined for an 0 for 11.
I meant tonight, of course. I didn't mean yesterday, but no. They did. They started out the entire 89ers lineup yesterday, just couldn't get it going at the plate.
Olson on in relief of Mark Kiefer. Foul at the plate, strike 2. Royals will have the top of the order coming up in the bottom half. It'll be Myers, Mota, and Steins.
One thing about it, Ortiz is going to get his swings in up there. Takes a monster cut, as you can imagine.
You can see a little bit. There have been some men in scoring position opportunities for Gill and Estrada. I think they're missing Jack Voigt. On the outside edge, strike 3 called. Third strikeout for Steve Olson. Time to stretch here at Rosenblatt Stadium. Middle of the 7th inning, tied at 3. Small numbers there. 3-3 going to the bottom of the 7th inning. Frank Atkinson along with Greg Shea, Kevin McNabb here at Rosenblatt Stadium. Royals with an opportunity, left 2 in the 6th inning. They'll have Myers, Mota, and Steins coming up in the 7th. And it's jacket weather now. Game time temperature 67, and the breeze blowing out toward right field. Kind of an unusual wind pattern here at Rosenblatt. Steve Dreyer has been fairly effective. 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, no runs. Myers jackknifes out of the way. 0 for 1 tonight, couple of walks.
Yeah, the wind has definitely shifted. I think back when Mercedes hit that home run, the flags were going directly out to right. Now they shifted a little bit. They're going more in a southerly direction.
'89er pitchers have had their problems throwing strikes to Rod Myers in this series. Myers has already walked twice tonight. 4 times in the series, taking all the way, and there's a strike. Got the green light, didn't get the ball.
How about that cut?
In case you're just tuning in, noting, gee, this telecast looks a little different. I'll explain again. Here's a 3-2, and Myers strokes it toward right center field. Lee was playing deep, so it falls in front of him for a base hit. Juggles it, and Myers holds on with a single. Myers is having a great series.
And you had to wonder, you know, in this ballpark, he loves to hit here, and finally he's able to find a pitch that he can drive. You see in the replay, hits it down low, and as you mentioned, Lee was playing back, and he put it right into the right center field. Good piece of hitting by Roderick Myers.
Had a little 1950s flavor to our broadcast tonight. I think the 50s is when they regularly televised baseball without center field shots, and our center field camera, I guess they'll be having a funeral for it after the game. It died. And the storm obviously had something to do with it. A throw over to first. Myers didn't even have a lead. Myers kind of laughing about it, saying, well, I'll wait till I at least take the lead before throwing over. Mota singled his last time up. 2 for 3 in the game. 3-3 in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Yeah, you should feel honored. I mean, that's almost a compliment.
A lot of times it's a case for a pitcher, just wasn't even concentrating. He isn't
Yeah.
sure yet what he wants to do to the batter, so he figures, well, I'll clear my head and just throw over to first. And I've seen pitchers do it when the first baseman isn't even holding them on and throw the ball into the dugout.
Well, just as you say that, Ortiz is going to come over and talk to him.
Ames, Iowa native Steve Dreyer on the mound. He's the third '89ers pitcher. Tim Mauser worked an inning. Dan Smith started, went 3. Mota around a bunt, bunted it foul. Strike 1 to Jose. 35-20, by the way. Bruins were short by 15. Did they cover?
It's a pretty darn good effort there in Tennessee, though. Go to Knoxville and you can put 20 points up against one of the top teams in the country.
$13 more than one team I know today. Strike one pitch. Mota bunts it back toward the mound. Dreyer's play is to shave the second baseman covering, and the sacrifice is scored 1-4.
Well, Mota got his job done, went up there and advanced Roderick Myers over to second base, and in a playoff situation where the Royals must win to force a game 5 tomorrow, they will chip away any way that they possibly can, and now they got a chance with the guy at second base.
Meeting on the mound, Chris Steins comes to the plate. On deck is Jeff Grotwald. Grotwald is a left-handed batter, and they only have one left-hander in the 89ers bullpen. And that's Brian Eversgerd, and that's him up. Eversgerd pitched in game 1, and he went 3 innings. Steins takes the high fastball, ball 1. Myers with a single, Mota a sacrifice. A strike taken. 1-1. In case you're wondering what the Royals are now doing as a team, with runners on base, 175. Runners in scoring position in this series, they're hitting 121. 89ers aren't doing much better. They're at 135. Steins goes to right field with it. It gets out there in a hurry. Myers is being waved home. The throw to Pappas is in plenty of time. Myers tried to jar the ball loose. Mike Jerschley sending him, hoping that the throw would not be perfect. But Lee fired it a strike to Pappas. He had time to even plant, make sure that he could hold on to the ball with 2 hands. On the throw, Steins ends up at second base. So the Royals do get a hit with a runner in scoring position and still can't get the go-ahead run in.
Well, credit that to Lee. Lee comes up with this ball cleanly. And for a moment, it looked like he was going to have problems with this. It's a shot by Steins out there. But as you mentioned, Lee comes up cleanly, and he does. He takes a nice crow hop and really puts everything into it, and he had so much time.
Grotwald the batter, and they do not go to Eversgerd, and it's strike 1. You were speculating earlier, what would the field be like in right field after draining the tarp? He didn't have that much of a problem. He was able to scoop it still, get off a strong throw. Guess that tells you about the drainage here. And I don't think he was throwing a wet ball. It didn't really seem like it.
No, he picked it up cleanly, no doubt about it. That last pitch there looked like a good job by Pappas to frame the pitch, because it almost looked like it was outside, but Pappas was able to bring it back in, and they call the strike.
1-2 now to Grotwald. The one thing about the Steins hit, it got out there so quick. I think Jerschley might have been hoping that wet grass would slow it down a little bit, but trying to get that run in, sent him. Grotwald taps it. Benji Gill charges it. Has time, gets him. Royals get 2 hits and a sacrifice in there and can't get the run in. We're moving to the 8th, tied at 3.
And we go to the top of the 8th between Oklahoma City and Omaha. 3-3 tie. You see Omaha, the line score, 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors. Oklahoma City, 3 runs, 3 hits, and 2 errors. Tied up at 3-3. Steve Olson still working for the Royals as we go to the top of the 8th. And for the Oklahoma City 89ers, it'll be Lee, Fanida, and Sagmon. Frank Atkinson back with us again. And this is a part of the order there. Lee, a pretty good hitter. Fanida has struggled here tonight, 2 strikeouts, but Sagmon has been swinging a pretty good bat. Only got 1 hit or 2 hits to show for it, but in all situations, he has put the bat on the ball. So this is a part of the order here that can get some things done for Oklahoma City.
Derek Lay 1 for 2 in the game. Also at this stage, we should take a moment and congratulate Mark Kiefer. Kiefer didn't have his best stuff, but he kept his team in the game, and he also made quite an adjustment going to those off-speed breaking pitches. Lee goes after the first pitch and drives it to right field. Burton is to the track and has a play. One away in the 8th inning. That'll bring up Finida. 0 for 3. When that left the bat, looked like it had something on it. Burton indicating he had it all the way. 1,224, some of them indoors in our Stadium View Club. Some of them also realizing that Denny's might be the only thing open after the game. Foul out of play, strike 2. Actually, one of our advertisers, Ameristar. They'll be open.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And not far from here either.
No, not at all. Just a Grotwald long ball away. Bounced the 0-2 up there, and then took a bite out of Henry Mercedes. Indianapolis and Buffalo rained out. Game 4 will be tomorrow at North AmeriCare Park. That will hang to shallow center field. Coming in on it, Myers. He calls off Felix Martinez and makes the catch. Myers did about all he could do to try to score on that play. He knew that the ball had beaten him by a good 20 feet. But you just put your head down, try to pull a Pete Rose in the All-Star game on Ray Fosse, and didn't have enough to knock over Pappas. Pappas was ready for him. Sagmoen singled his last time up. Olson's pitch is high.
Well, if you're Oklahoma City, this is the game you want to win. You don't want to go to a game 5 on the road in a 5-game series. If they're going to get it done, they want to get it done tonight here. On the other hand, the longer it goes, Omaha, the chances get better for them.
Burton will start things off in an Omaha bottom half of the 8th. Left field sinking. Steins will have to play it on a bounce. Second hit for Sagmoen. That'll bring up Pappas.
Second hit, he had 1 last night, so 3 in the series. He really has been doing a nice job at the plate in that number 6 slot for the 89ers.
Pappas 0 for 1. Walked twice. (3-3) in the 8th. That's foul over to Greg Biagini in the coaching box.
Biagini looks like he could still play some ball himself.
He's been at it managing now for a while too. He managed in the playoffs against Omaha in 1990. Used to be in the Orioles organization. 1-1 to Eric Pappas. Quite a comeback for the 89ers after they were the last place team last year. Biagini was with them, struggling through a season where they were at the bottom and they were beaten by Omaha 18 times. Two outs, go ahead run at first base. Eric Pappas had the game-winning RBI in Game 1 for the 89ers. He's at the plate. The count is 1-1. Center field, it's over Myers' head. Got a good jump on it, drifting now as he makes the catch. 1 hit, 1 left. 89ers have stranded 7, so have the Royals. It's their turn in the bottom half of the 8th, tied at 3. Sure what the blue one is. 6 2/3 innings now without a run allowed by Steve Olson in this series. We're still with you upstairs. Darren Burton will start things off for the Royals, facing that man, Steve Dreyer. Burton is now 2 for 15 in the series.
Darren Burton.
all 3 times to the plate tonight by Darren Burton. He's pulled the ball twice at John Shave, the second baseman, on the ground. Once he lined out to, well, I'm going to think, once he lined out. No, actually, he sprayed the ball to the left field one time to Sag Moem on a line.
Actually, he was pulling that one too, batting right-handed at the time. Strike one to Darren Burton.
Thanks for the assist there. I remember him pulling the ball, but I couldn't remember what side of the plate he was on.
And pulls it again. Another opportunity for John Shave.
It's the 5th time now that Shave's retired somebody on his own on a ground ball.
Shave now 6 assists, 2 putouts. Busy man. Mark Merchant, the batter, 0 for 2 with a walk. Merchant, another one of the switch hitters. They've got Mota, Burton, and Merchant and Felix, 4 switch hitters in the lineup. He's 0 for 6 in the series. Strike one. Changeup missed. 1-1. No one throwing in either bullpen. It's Dreyer and Olson. One name synonymous with ice cream. The other one with coffee. Two one. In there for a strike.
Yeah, that's a good pitch by Dreyer. That's a tough pitch to hit. Right into the knees, and he's worked him on both sides of the plate here. 2-2 count. We'll see what he does here.
Changed up on him. Head of the bat out in front of the swing. Pop up to Osmani Estrada in foul territory. Makes the grab. 2 down, looking ahead to the Oklahoma City ninth. They'll have Gill, Estrada, and Thomas due up.
The catcher, Henry Mercedes.
Henry Mercedes comes to the plate. Henry's 2-run home run in the 4th inning is what tied it. Curve outside, ball 1.
He's had a good night. You know, he had the home run, then he had a single back in the 6th inning. So 2 out of 3 tonight. I don't think they're going to throw him anything too good with the wind blowing out to right.
Change speeds up high. 2 balls, no strikes. He's pitching carefully to Henry Mercedes. Everyone playing deep. Curve for a strike. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Didn't get around on the fastball. He's doing a great job of changing speeds. And location too, in and out.
Oh, he's had him completely fooled on the last 2 pitches.
Left center field gap. Sagmon can't get it. Henry's going for 2. He's in scoring position. 2 outs, and Shane Halter coming to the plate.
Sagmon made a great attempt out there in left field. The diving attempt, but Mercedes, after looking bad on 2 straight pitches, waits on the pitch here against Dreyer. You're going to see it at the replay. Sets back and just yanks this one into left center field, and Sagmon will come on. He will make a diving attempt at it. You can see it was a little bit too far away. Good job of the center fielder, Oneida, to be able to come up with it and at least cut it down to a double.
I'm just wondering if they'll give Halter anything to hit here. Got first base open. And he sprays it foul, strike 1. Halter had 4 hits in the first game. He's 0 for 2 in this one. Steve Dreyer had been in 4 games against Omaha during the regular season, 0-1, an ERA of 4. So far in this one, Dreyer 3 2/3, yielded 5 hits, no runs, no walks. Mercedes at second base. Halter Watches the pitch go high. 1-1 to Shane. Estrada just outside of your picture at third, playing near the line. Now Tom Brown, the pitching coach, is going to the mound. And he might be talking to Dreyer like, hey, that pitch was just a little too good and a little too far up. With Felix Martinez on deck, who's 0 for 3 in the game, and the number 9 batter. Maybe that's a little too good to give Shane Halter. Here, 3-3 tie, bottom of the 8th inning, game 4. Royals with a win would send us to a 135 game 5 on Sunday. 89ers with a win would advance on, headed home to open up the championship series at home for the first 2.
Well, I gotta believe you're right about Tom Brown being out there, and now the umpire's gonna come out and break up the conversation at the mound. But Tom Brown just telling Dreyer, and as you mentioned, too good a pitch, especially with Martinez coming up. And now they're gonna go to work. They will send somebody. Looks like a left-hander is gonna get up on the hill out in the bullpen for the 89ers.
The only one they got, Brian Eversgerd. He was up last inning. But if he's up, I don't see him pitching to anyone except maybe Myers, the next left-handed batter. And he's low for ball 2 to Halter. Three. Go ahead run. Second base, Henry Mercedes. That's Eversgerd in the pen. Fouled it at the plate. 2-2 to Shane Halter. That's Henry Mercedes representing the go-ahead run. Henry, of course, is a catcher. Not the best of speed, but the way he's been swinging the bat, he's not coming out for a runner here. Two to Halter. Outside. Again, trying to get him to chase something. And ever since the conversation from Brown, they are pitching around Halter.
Well, this sets up the all-important 3-2 pitch. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th.
Change up, pulled it foul. It's not really an intentional walk, though. He's still actually given him a few things to take hacks at. On 3-2 there, Halter protecting the plate.
Well, now Pappas is going to look Frank out to left field maybe and ask Sagmon to come in a few steps.
Here it comes, 3-2. Walked him. That puts 2 aboard, but that's not the worst thing that could have happened to Steve Dreyer. I don't think he is too upset about walking him.
Well, the pressure goes to Martinez now. We talked about the bottom of the order for both teams producing. Mercedes has done his part for the Royals at the number 7 slot. Now you got Martinez at number 9. 0 for 3 on the evening, and he can play a major part in this game. 2 men on and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th.
Didn't get it. He's actually kind of a tough hitter to defense. He can hit the ball pretty much anywhere. Sprays the ball. They stay with Dreyer because they want him batting left-handed. Came with the curve. 1-1 to Felix Martinez. That's Henry Mercedes. All right there at second base, representing the go-ahead run in a 3-3 tie. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Felix backs away. Ball 2.
Well, he went inside, and he went back outside. You're right about Martinez. He will be able to spray it. Outfielders, especially in left, Sagmon's even come in a few more steps, so they're going to play him too deep if he does go to left field.
Another one to John Shave. Throws out Felix. Royals will have the top of the order coming to the plate in the 9th inning. 89ers to bat first, though, in the 9th. Gill due up, followed by Estrada and Thomas. 3-3. We're still tied. Oklahoma City with just 4. The teams have managed to strand a few. The 89ers, 7 left on. Omaha 9 left on. Even the windbreaker for the camera crew. There's Mark Farnsworth, the Omaha trainer, in the lower left-hand corner. Thoughts about moving to Florida once this series, or once the season is over. So he's got the jacket on too. Steve Olson on into the 9th inning. This is his 4th inning of relief. And now he's backed up in the bullpen. Lefty Ken Patterson is up. Right-hander Julio Valera in the Omaha pen.
Well, Frank, you look at the 3 hitters for the 89ers, and Gill, Estrada, and Thomas, and the way I look at it, they're a combined 5 for 30 in this series. So this is if you're Olson, these are the 3 you should be able to get.
There are your 2 in the pen. Patterson, the left-hander, Valera on the left part of the screen, the right-hander. Gill doesn't get the pitch from Olson. Strike 1.
Now going back to the 6th inning when Gill had bases loaded, had a great opportunity to put the 89ers in front in this ball game, and he failed to do so by striking out. So he's got a chance to hopefully make up for it here in the 9th inning.
Dan Smith started. 3 runs, 2 earned in 3 innings. Tim Mauser, a perfect 4th after the 2-run home run for Mercedes, and Dreyer since then. Fouled off. Closest the Royals have come to scoring since the Mercedes 2-run home run. Singles from Myers and Steins in the 7th. Myers trying to score from second and thrown out by Derek Lee. Two and 2 now to Gill. Struck him out. He had something on that one. Gill down on strikes for the 2nd time. Steve Olson records his 4th.
And the 2nd time tonight that Gill has went down on strikes, 2nd consecutive time at that.
Osmani Estrada 0 for 3. Ball 1. Eversgerd still throwing in the 89er pen, so the left-hander is likely to face Myers to start off the bottom half of the inning. Changeup for a strike. Is this the last inning of the Omaha season? Time will tell. There's Eversgerd amidst the empty blue seats. Base hit for Estrada. Single to center. That's 5 hits for Oklahoma City. They've got Patterson, a left-hander, up in the pen, and now you got the left-handed batter Brian Thomas. Be curious to see, since Olson worked in game 1, whether he might be tiring a bit and whether they are contemplating going to Patterson here.
And you got a couple of guys due up here.
Yep, they will.
Thomas is due, and also is Shea. Both guys tonight struggling at the plate.
Mike Jerschley makes the trip to the mound, so they do want Patterson to face Brian Thomas, it would appear. Let's hold it here just for a second until Jersch actually makes the move to the pen, but he doesn't normally come out just to stretch his legs. That's it. Patterson's coming on. And then we'll also see if Biagini counters with among his right-handed pinch hitters, perhaps Bubba Smith. 3-3, we're in the 9th inning. Patterson not only is the pitcher, but it looks like we're going to see Bubba Smith pinch hit for Thomas to get a right-handed batter up there. Bubba Smith spent all of this season at Tulsa, which is the Rangers Double-A team. And he makes his first appearance in the series. He joined their team after Tulsa was eliminated in their playoffs and after Jack Voigt was promoted. Last year at Fort Myers, hit .330. And unfortunately, I don't have numbers for you on how he did at Tulsa this year. They just didn't give it to us.
For Oklahoma City, number 36, Bubba Smith.
So they don't have to replace Thomas defensively since he was the DH. So they decided to go for the change here and Bubba Smith. Estrada is the go-ahead run at first base. 1 out. Ken Patterson on for the 17th time. Actually, 16 times for the regular season. They are not cumulative stats. 0-1 with a 1.8 ERA. Works from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Smith. Strike called, outside corner.
That's a great location pitch to start with Patterson. Went outside and just above the knees, so he's not going to give much to the big Bubba Smith up there.
Didn't get the breaking ball. Strike 2. Patterson has faced 2 batters previously in this series, and he's retired them both. Strike 2 to Bubba Smith. 1 out in the 9th inning. 3-3 tie. He struck him out. Looked like a screwball. Struck him out on 3 straight.
The second baseman, John Shea.
Well, they gambled by going with Smith and not Thomas, and of course Patterson coming in out of the bullpen, just throwing some heat and right by Smith. Smith had no chance. Great job by Patterson.
John Shave 0 for 4. 4 for 16 in the series. Toss over to first. Estrada gets back. Let me check on Estrada's base running numbers. Stole 3, caught 1. He really didn't play a whole lot in the regular season. The pitch is high for ball 1. Top of the order for the Royals in the bottom of the 9th. Myers, Mota, and Steins. Mercedes calls time and heads to the mound.
Probably going to talk about Estrada maybe just a little bit. Shave tonight in this ball game. He's been up there 4 times, 0 for 4 on the night.
Again, Shave is a critical batter. If he gets on, then you've got Louis Ortiz with 2 down. Just as soon get Shave, get a run in the bottom half, and not see Ortiz is what the Omaha strategy is. See him tomorrow. The concentration on Shave. Here's Patterson's pitch. Flicked his bat. That's a strike. Over to your left. That's our third base shot of Patterson. Shane Halter is guarding the line about as much as you can, trying to prevent against an extra base hit. He's a step away from the foul line. Swing and a miss. 1-2 to John Shave.
Shave has been late in the last 2 pitches. I mean, to tell you what, Patterson's come in and thrown it right by him, as he did Smith. He's done the same thing here with Shave. 2 straight against Shave here.
There you see how close Halter is to the bag and the line. Backhanded by Mercedes. That one's outside. 2-2.
It's a good job by Mercedes to stop that ball from getting by. And if he doesn't, Estrada's standing at second base.
Two pitch. Runner going. Ball 3. Mercedes guns out Estrada. 2-4 caught stealing. Side retired. We'll look at it again as we're going to break. Plenty of time to get Estrada to end the inning. Top of the order for the Royals. Bottom of the ninth, tied at 3. Brian Eversgerd is the new pitcher for the 89ers, and there you see the only left-hander that the 89ers have left besides Dan Smith, whom they've already used. Eversgerd was effective in game 1. In fact, he was the winning pitcher. 3 innings, 3 hits, no runs, and he had 2 strikeouts without a walk. And he'll face Rod Myers. That was his regular season record on top there. Let's see, how has Myers done against left-handers in the series? 0 for 2. And one of them was actually both were against Eversgerd. So it's the 3rd time that he's facing him, and he takes high for ball 1. He's been on base 3 times out of the 4 that he's come to the plate. 3-3, bottom of the 9th. There's ball 2.
And he's looked good at the plate. I mean, last time he was at the plate, he really stroked a nice ball out into right field to see if he can follow it up here in the bottom of the 9th.
Taking, there's a strike. Line on Dreyer. 4 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Ball 3. Myers just trying to get on base, make some things happen. Taking, and another strike. Eversgerd throwing strikes when he needed to.
Myers almost started to let go of the bat and head down to the first base. He had to come back.
And there's ball 4. He walks for the 3rd time in the game. A winning run on base. Wondering about how the Royals did in the regular season in winning games in their final at-bat. They won 11 that way. They lost 12 that way. Let's see if Myers might try to run on Pappas. Ortiz wants to talk to Eversgerd now. Royals a run away, sending us to the morning after. Moda around the bunt, got it down. Eversgerd field has to make the full turn, throws to Shave, sacrifice 1-4. 2nd time Moda has sacrificed in the game. Winning run now at 2nd base.
Moda, another great job laying down the bunt right out in front. That's a tough throw for the left-hander too. Eversgerd, he had to turn all the way around, turn his body around, and then throw a bullet down to first base. But there it is, the winning run, standing at 2nd base. If the Royals can bring him around, and Chris Steins is a guy who can do it. He had a shot to right field the last time he was up.
Now, there's no way they're going to pitch to him with a left-handed batter, Grotwald, to follow. Steins means nothing if they put them on. So he'll be intentionally walked. They brought in the left-hander Eversgerd for a left-left matchup, and with Grotwald to follow, there's no reason to even bother with Steins. And Grotwald is 0 for 4 tonight, 2 for 16 in the series. Checking the regular season numbers on Grotwald. Against lefties, 187. The numbers don't indicate great success against lefties, but I always thought that he held in there really well.
Well, we'll find out. Grotwald coming to the plate.
For the want of a run at this point now, perhaps for a base hit, the Royal season can continue. 3-3, 1 out, bottom of the 9th, time called by Pappas now. 2 walks in the inning, 1 intentional, 1 unintentional. Gets away from Pappas, but he kept it in front of him. And the runners do not advance. It's ball 1 to Grotwald. Great play there by Pappas.
Well, I've been impressed with Pappas the last 2 nights. Of course, last night Bo Sanford was throwing the ball all over the place early in that game, and in game 3, and he kept Pappas on his toes. And tonight Pappas has done a nice job back there, and there's evidence just by that play.
Two on, 1 out. The pitch. Curve for a strike. We are a minute from midnight. It's late in the day. It's late in the season. Myers to his lead. Eversgerd checks him. Fouled away. Hitting the press box window. 1-2.
Yeah, good night to get a foul ball. Or 2. Or 3.
And between the lines, please. On deck is Darren Burton. 1-2 to Jeff Grotwald with 1 out. Inside. Close. Two balls and 2 strikes. Now Grotwald backs out, trying to slow down Eversgerd. To left field, slicing down the line, foul.
Boy, when that ball started out, it looked like it had a chance to say fair, at least from our angle up top here. But it ended up well foul, and Grotwald gave everybody in the place just kind of hanging on to what was going to happen right there.
More or less, I still think that was somewhat of a 2-strike defensive swing from Grotwald, too. And yet nearly won it. In fact, for the wind blowing out to right field, Lee is playing shallow in right. Two-two pitch. High, ball 3. Grotwald has always been a pretty selective hitter. He draws a lot of walks. A walk here would force runners, move Myers into a situation where he'd be less than 90 feet from scoring. Pappas now didn't even bother with a sign. He wants to talk to Eversgerd about what will follow. If you're just tuning in, 3-3, bottom of the 9th, game 4. 89ers lead it 2-1. 2-hour and 17-minute rain delay. We started at 9:22. Three balls, 2 strikes. Grotwald backs out, wanting to clear his thoughts. You don't want to walk him. Would Eversgerd come with a fastball, though? Lifted into shallow left. Gill makes the catch, and he doubles off Myers, and we're going to the 10th. If that gets over Gill's head, Myers has a chance to score. A looping double play to end the inning. Check out Benji Gill again. Backpedaling on it. And right then, Myers is in no man's land. 9 innings in and a 3-3 tie. Tie. Neither team has scored since the Mercedes opposite field 2-run home run in the 4th inning. During the 9th inning, the Maureen McGovern tune crossed my mind. There's got to be a morning after. This is our morning after now. 10th inning, 3-3.
Well, John Shea was up there at the last inning, and he'll go right back to work against Patterson here. We'll see if Shea can do something for the 89ers.
Now crossing mine, Clapton after midnight. And now Shave comes up with a base hit down the right field line. Leadoff man aboard in the 10th inning. And Louis Ortiz, who has done the damage offensively for the Niners, is the batter. These teams did not have an extra inning game in the regular season. This is the second one of this playoff.
You're going to see the replay. Good piece of hitting by John Shave. Just went the opposite direction, went the flow of the ball, and knocks it down into the right field corner. Burton has to come up with it.
You know what this conversation is here? Greg Biagini talking to Louis Ortiz. Hey, Louis, you know how to bunt? I don't think I've ever asked you before. I doubt he has had many opportunities. We'll see if they ask him to here. Louis may not have even known the bunt sign. Well, that's not what they were talking about, at least not on that pitch. 6 hits now for Oklahoma City, 7 for the Royals.
Makes you wonder now.
What does satellite time cost an hour? Swing and a miss, strike 2 to Louis Ortiz.
That was a bad swing too by Ortiz there. He got jammed on the pitch and committed early, went ahead and went around. Now he finds himself down 0-2.
Fouled off. Every season, anywhere from 1 to 3 times a year, you have one of these post-midnight finishes. We had one in Indianapolis this year. I think it was like 12:03, just barely passed it. It was a second game of a doubleheader. We're moving a little deeper into the midnight hour. That'll squirt through to right field for another base hit. Shave on his way to third. Burton's throw is cut off. First and third, nobody out for Oklahoma City in the 10th inning.
Interesting.
Ortiz going with the pitch.
Well, they cut that play off, and I didn't know if Shave was going to get around to third base. You're going to see the replay here. Ortiz does a nice job. He was down 0-2 in the count, went the opposite way with the pitch, drives it into right field. Now, as you see Burton come up with it, they will cut this thing off. Would have been an interesting play, but now they get runners at the corners.
Derek Lee is the batter. No one throwing in the Omaha pen. I don't think they would have gotten Shave at third. And now, if you can at least retire Lee without the run scoring, then you have a double play possibility because Ortiz was held at first. If that throw's not cut off, he might end up at second. Ball 1 on the curve low. It's Valera again up in the Omaha pen, and now Jeff Granger has joined him. Chopper right side, but the infield was in. Mota throws to second. Not in time. Great play by Mota to even come up with the ball, but the run is in. Still nobody out, and the Niners now have a 4-3 lead.
It was an excellent play by Mota. He doesn't get this. Could have been worse damage, but Martinez going to stand there. Ball goes down, and you see Mota was playing in tight, and outstanding play to dive and get it. Had to throw it off his knees. We didn't get to see the throw to second base, but it was very close into second.
3 straight hits off Patterson. That's an infield hit. Rickert Fanida is the batter. 4-3, Oklahoma City leads it. He lays down the bunt. Grotwald fields, throws to Mota covering, threw it away. Here comes Ortiz to score, and that makes it 5-3. Oklahoma City.
This is all coming with no outs here, too, in the top of the 10th inning. And Fanata, who had been struggling at the plate, does a nice job to get the bunt down. He gets down to first base, and just a bad throw there.
It's tough trying to hit the moving target when you have the second baseman coming over to cover, too. Sagmo on the batter. Ball 1 to him.
Well, Sagmone's nobody to mess around with. I mean, he's a guy who's had a hot bat in the last 2 games. He's been able to spray the ball here at Rosenblatt Stadium, and he could do some damage with runners at the corners.
3 straight singles. Then the sacrifice error. Nobody out, 2 runs home. Fanita took off on a swing and a miss, no throw down. One and one to Sagmoen. Out of play, and the count goes to 1-2. Right-hander up in the Oklahoma City pen, so if it's a lead and a right-hander up, it's got to be Danny Patterson. Swing and a miss, and down goes Sagmo, and that's the first out. Eric Pappas is the batter. And here comes Mike Jerschley. He will bring on Julio Valera to face Pappas with 1 out in the 10th. And our score now, Oklahoma City 5 and Omaha 3. Julio Valera comes on for Omaha. Valera will be facing Eric Pappas with runners at second and third. And 2 runs home in the inning. Shave with a single to right. Ortiz just killing the Royals again on an 0-2 pitch. Able to single to right, Shave to third. Then the Royals were forced to bring the infield in, and that's the difference between Derek Lee's ball being an out or even possibly a double play. Instead it went for a base hit. And then the sacrifice from Fanita. Throwing error on Grotwald, allowing an additional run to score. Fanita took a base on indifference. They will not credit him with a stolen base. Then Sagmoen strikes out. Patterson gets the last batter that he faces on a K. And here's Pappas. Royals trying to stay in the game, down 2. Likely to face Danny Patterson in the bottom half of the inning. Got him to chase one. It was outside. Ball 1.
Pappas had no chance on that.
Me.
Ball was tailing away. Pappas almost onto 1 foot. So he was leaning forward trying to get the bat onto the ball.
Now it's 1-1. Again, the pattern for the Royals has been games that they have control, they win. Had the lead all the way yesterday. Have not had the lead at any point in this game. That's a base hit for Pappas, punching it on into right field. Here's Lee to score. Fanita right behind him, and that makes it 7-3 Oklahoma City. And if you're an 89ers fan, you would have to feel very good about your chances here now.
A good piece of hitting by Pappas to go opposite field. And Pappas in the number 7 slot doing a nice job. The catcher brings in 2 RBIs, and 7-3, as you said, Frank, with Oklahoma City inching closer to claiming the Western Division crown.
Benji Gill is the batter. Takes it low, ball 1. 2 balls and no strikes. Chopper headed over the middle. Mota flags it, gets to Felix Martinez, and then he drops the ball. Be an error charge to Felix for dropping the ball.
Well, what a play by Jose Mota. I mean, this is the second time in this inning that Mota has come up with the remarkable play. He did it earlier, and they didn't get the out. This time he has to go behind the bag, hops up, gets it, and the ball is there. And Martinez was not able to hang on to it.
I think he came off the bag, too. 8th batter of the inning, Osmani Estrada, 7-3 Oklahoma City. And the Valera pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. One and one to Estrada. The thing that really seemed to turn the inning around, Ortiz on 0-2, able to single to right field. That forced the infield to come in. That turned Lee's ball into a base hit because the infield was up. The wheels have kind of come off from that point. Wild swing from Estrada, and the count is 1-2.
Estrada, a pretty good hitter at that 9 hole. You can't take him lightly.
Halter charges it, can't come up with it. He would have had a tough play. It's a maddening inning as far as the Royals have to be concerned because everything is just so close. It's like right within their grasp. Mota making the great play. Felix doesn't catch it. Halter charging it, having to make a short hop pickup. Can't do it. It's going to be charged as an error to Shane, and that is the 3rd Omaha error in the inning and the 5th Omaha error in the game. Bubba Smith is the batter. Swings through it, strike 1. He came on as a pinch hitter for Brian Thomas in the 9th inning.
Yeah, it's frustrating to see this, especially if the Royals can't come back in their half of the inning, which is going to be a monumental effort at that. At the way it stands right now, it'll be a frustrating way to end this series.
Oh, 0-2 to Bubba Smith. Bases loaded, 1 out. It's a 4-run Oklahoma City inning. Wouldn't go after it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Royals will have Burton, Merchant, and Mercedes due up in the bottom of the 10th. Bubba fouls it off the press box. What do you think? Want to give John Allgood an error? Struck him out with the fastball. That's the 2nd out. John Shave is the batter.
Now this is back where we started the inning at.
Shave with a single to right earlier in this 10th inning. That was his first hit of the game. Fastball for strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Valera's 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Royal pitchers strike out the side in the 10th inning, but I don't think that's what most will remember about the inning. Bottom half, Burton to start it off. 7-3 Niners. Hanson with you. Greg Shea has gone downstairs in anticipation of what appears now to be an 89ers victory. 7-3, they lead it. Darren Burton, Mark Merchant, and Henry Mercedes due up to face Danny Patterson in the 10th inning. Patterson, during the regular season, had a tremendous earned run average. And unless the Royals find a very big bottom half of the 10th inning, at least equally as big as the 89ers had in the top half, almost a surreal quality to the potential end of this season, coming well after midnight before a rather sparse turnout here at Rosenblatt. Patterson gets strike one. Danny Patterson had a 1.68 regular season ERA. Ryan Eversgerd would stand to win it. Loop toward right field. Lee has to play it on a bounce. How does the old proverb go? A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step.
The 89ers new pitcher is number 17, Danny Patterson.
Leadoff single for Darren Burton, as we'll see it again. Burton's first hit of the game. With a 4-run lead, you could see Lee thinking about it and like, well, play it safe. No reason to try to play that into a double. Mark Merchant is the batter. Strike one from Danny Patterson, who at this point just simply wants to throw strikes. Didn't get around on the fastball. Foul tipped. Royals need some base runners to get the tying run at least to the plate. The 0-2 struck him out. Third time, Merchant down on strikes.
The catcher, Henry Mercedes.
We've seen Dan Smith. He gave up 3 runs, 2 of them earned. Then Mauser, Dreyer for 4, Eversgerd for 1. Now Danny Patterson. He missed inside to Henry Mercedes. Ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. Missed inside again. Henry had to jump out of the way. 2 balls, no strikes. Taking until he saw one, and there's a strike down the middle. Louis Ortiz, the Oklahoma City first baseman, is playing well off the bag. Burton's not going anywhere. Foul off of Henry's foot. Two and two to Henry Mercedes. 7-3 Oklahoma City. With 1 out, 1 on in the bottom of the 10th inning. Didn't offer at it. That runs the count full to 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes. Fouled another one off. Henry's been a tough out. Another payoff pitch from Danny Patterson to Henry Mercedes. Fly ball to center. That'll be out number 2. Rickert Fanida took care of that. 2 down. It's up to Shane Halter to keep the season going for Omaha. High and away, ball one to Shane. Here's ball two. The earliest the Royals could bring the tying run to the plate would be Myers. They'd have to get Halter and Felix aboard. There's ball three. Automatic here, Halter will be taking. You gain nothing by swinging here. And there's a strike. That's a base hit down the right field line. Burton will go to third. First and third, two down. So basically what it comes down to this. Felix Martinez has to get aboard. If he does, the tying run at least comes to the plate. Halter finding the hole between Ortiz and the line. And now Tom Brown makes his way to the mound, the Oklahoma City pitching coach. And Pappas joins him there. Felix has not gotten on base in this game. He's 0 for 4. It's a long shot even still. But if Felix just gets on, then at least you have that one last chance with the tying run at the plate.
The shortstop, Felix Martinez.
Felix is 0 for 4. Slider on the outside corner, strike one. Bounced up there, bounces away. That gets in. Burton puts Halter at second base, gives the Royals a run, but they're still no closer to winning the game. They still have to get Felix aboard. Wild pitch charge to Danny Patterson. The only edge they gain from that is that there is no longer a force play at second base. If Felix were to hit the ball, say, deep into the hole, the shortstop, Benji Gill, would still have to throw across. That's a base hit. Guess what? The tying run is going to come to the plate. Halter in to score on the Felix Martinez base hit. I think that's about all you could have asked for coming into the bottom half of the inning, that you just bring the tying run to the plate. And that's what Felix has accomplished. That cuts it to 7-5.
The center fielder, Roderick Myers.
Sagmoen to chase it down there. Myers is 1 for 2 and has walked 3 times in the game. So he's the tying run. Sprayed foul, strike one. You need something on the order of Kirk Gibson here now. Tying run at the plate, down to bottom of the 10th. On the ground, Gill has it. Makes the throw across. This one is over. The Oklahoma City 89ers have won the Western Division. The Royals win the regular season. It's the 89ers who win the postseason. 7-5 is your final. We'll say goodnight in a moment from Rosenblatt Stadium. 7-5 is your final score. The Oklahoma City 89ers will advance on to the American Association Championship Series for the first time since 1992. A lot of ironies in this game. The Royals with opportunities to win it, especially in the 9th inning when they had first and second and 1 out. Couldn't get the runs across. They do get runs in the 10th, but not enough after the 89ers get 4 in the top half of the inning. 7-5 is the final. A little bit of a celebration starting to brew for the Oklahoma City 89ers. Our Greg Shea is just outside their dugout, and he was hoping to grab Greg Biagini, the manager of the 89ers, and I see him just heading out there now. So we'll tell you that the winning pitcher in this game, Brian Eversgerd, wins 2 of the 3 for the 89ers in the series. Ken Patterson is the losing pitcher in a 3-hour and 10-minute game. 12:24 on hand for this last game for the Omaha Royals season. The 89ers will face either Buffalo or Indianapolis in the Association Championship Series, and Greg Biagini is ready to start a celebration with his players in the clubhouse. Our Greg Shea is detaining him momentarily.
Okay, thanks, Frank. Down on the field now, I'm with the winning manager of the Oklahoma City 89ers, Western Division champions, the manager, Greg Biagini. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Long night here at the ballpark. First we had the rain delay. You guys warmed up, went into the clubhouse, came back out. It was all worth it tonight.
It was very much worth it. You know, I wanted to try and get this game in at all costs tonight. They said the weather was going to clear up, and it was a good game. You know, both teams played well. We just fortunate to put something together at the end of the game.
Tell me about from last place to first place. It's got to be a very gratifying victory tonight.
Very gratifying. Last year was a long year, but we came back this year and hopefully make amends for it.
I got to ask you real quick. Last inning, Luis Ortiz, you went and talked to him down the third base line. 2 home runs early in the game. Got a chance. I don't know. A moment I thought maybe you were going to ask him to bunt. He ends up with a big-time hit when he was down 0-2 in the count.
No, he wanted to know if I wanted him to bunt. There's no way I was going to have him bunt in that situation. I didn't want to take the bat out of his hands, and you know, like you say, he hit the ball good twice tonight, and we were in a situation where the game's on the line. I'm not going to take the bat out of his hand at all.
Got any preference, Indy or Buffalo?
I don't think it matters at this point in time right now. We just want to enjoy this tonight, and we'll see what happens tomorrow in their game.
All right, thanks for taking the time. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's the winning manager, Greg Biagini. Now back up to Frank Atkinson in the booth here at Rosenblatt Stadium.
Okay, Greg, the hour is late, so we're going to make this a quick good night from Rosenblatt Stadium. Our thanks again to the OTTV crew and also for Cox Cable in Oklahoma City, along with Metro Media Cablevision for handling the broadcast back to us for games 1 and 2 in the series. And thanks for you for hanging with us for this 1996 season. Great season for the Royals. They finished first in the division for the regular season. First time that happened since 1990. Things can go your way sometimes and against you in a short series. Royals came so close to actually winning this one. Jeff Grotwald's liner just not quite going over Benji Gill's head in the 9th inning. It's the 89ers that end up having the big 10th, and they win it 7-5. And great job by our O2 TV crew waiting out this delay. Didn't go this way for the Omaha, and the 89ers, we wish them well into the American Association Championship Series. Come April the 3rd, I believe, is going to be opening night for the Omaha Royals in 1997. Another series, another season, and a lot of stories to tell come 1997. Thanks for hanging up with us late at night at Rosenblatt Stadium. We'll say goodnight. Again, the final score, 7-5, the 89ers winning it in 10 innings. For Kevin McNabb and Greg Shea and all the O2 TV crew, Frank Atkinson saying good morning from Rosenblatt Stadium.
Omaha Royals baseball, it's red hot and it's fun.
Tonight's Western Division playoff game was sponsored by Coors, Baker's Supermarkets, Ameristar Casino, and by Budweiser.